Today I'm going to show you how to make some fabric braided headbands just like the one that I'm wearing. And I'm actually going to show you how to make this one, which is a little thicker, and I think it just looks better. So we're going to start with a scrap of fabric that I have, and as you can see it's not really even, but I'm going to use this longer side, and it's approximately 21 inches. So we're going to use this part. Now to make this thicker one, we're going to cut 1-inch strips. So that means they're going to be 21 inches by 1 inch. Okay, now I have 3 strips that are all about 1 inch wide, and they don't have to be perfectly an inch. And as you can see, mine are cut very crooked, but it doesn't matter. It'll be okay. So now we're going to layer them on top of each other, and we're going to grab a needle that has the thread that matches, and I tied a knot at the end, so we're just going to go through and sew these 3 strips together. Okay, as you can see, I stitched back and forth and made a little X at the top to hold these together, and then I just tied it in the back. And now we're going to braid it, and so I have my sewing kit over here. This is how I'm going to braid it, and right here I'm going to pin it to this to hold it still. You can tape it to something to hold it still, or you can actually have someone hold it. So now that I have it pinned, I'll move it a little closer, and I'm going to do just like you would do with hair, and I'm going to braid it. Okay, now that I've made it to the end and I braided all this, I'm going to stack the 3 pieces of fabric on top of each other, and I'm going to get a threaded needle, and I'm going to do just like I did over here and somehow sew it together. Okay, now that I have this sewn, I'm going to get my 1/3 inch elastic, and I'm going to hold it onto the back of it, which is going to be the side that you don't like, that's going to be flat against your head. You're going to go ahead and sew the elastic onto there using like an X or just going back and forth, but just to make sure that it's on there really well. Okay, now I have my elastic attached, and all of this fabric that's just kind of hanging down, if I want, which I think it would look better, I can kind of wrap it around and I can sew it on there. That way it doesn't just hang out when you have it on. It looks a lot better. Okay, so now I have the elastic attached to one end of the headband, and so I'm going to place it around my head, and I'm gonna, hopefully it kind of is close to those bones that are in the back of your head in the back. And now we're going to thread our elastic through, and we're gonna kind of line it up where that was stitched, where we were braiding it, and we're just going to kind of pull it until it's tight. And you can hold on to the headband and just kind of see, okay, you know, maybe I want it to be a little tighter, so I'll give a little less elastic and just kind of feel it. Okay, you know, I like that, so this is how much elastic I'm going to add to mine. Okay, so I'm going to take where that is, and I'm going to match it up to where I had sewn it together, and I'm going to sew that together really well, and then I'm going to trim off all these extra strings that are hanging down. Okay, I have it all done. I just finished sewing the elastic back on. So on this side, just like the other, I had some fabric that was sticking out and it just didn't look very good. So I kind of folded it and then sewed it up, and that way it looks a lot cleaner. So now we can try it on. Okay, perfect. And I do recommend whenever you put it on and take it off to not pull too hard where the elastic is attached, because it can come unsewn. So I think it looks great. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.